We are led to believe that the President of the United States is the most protected biological entity on the planet, a man shielded by layers of steel, encryption, and elite human guardians. But the simulation of power is fragile. History is not just a series of elections, it is a series of glitches, moments where the social contract is bypassed by a single individual with a weapon and an obsession. We call these assassins, but in the language of the machine, they are deletion protocols. From the silent letters filled with poison to the crack of a rifle in a Pennsylvania field, the attempts on Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden reveal a terrifying truth. The system can protect the office, but it struggles to protect the man. Today, we perform a psychological autopsy on the men who tried to break the American simulation. Welcome to the glitch. The environment, the imperial target. To hold the office of the presidency is to become an archetype. You cease to be a man and become a symbol of the system itself. And for those who feel crushed by that system, the president becomes the personification of their despair. Detailing the psychological concept of stature, how the presidency attracts directed attention. Analysis of the Secret Service's protection paradox. The more visible the leader, the more vulnerable the simulation becomes. We explore why modern political polarization has turned the glitch of assassination into a historical rarity, into a persistent background noise. Joe Biden's The Invisible Threats. Joe Biden's tenure has been marked by silent glitches, threats that often end before the public even knows they began. The 8th 2023 U-Haul incident. Sai Varshith Kandula crashed a truck into the White House security barriers, carrying a Nazi flag and a desire to seize power. We also examined the recurring Erasure Protocol, letters laced with lethal poison intercepted in the mailroom. These are low-resolution glitches, uncoordinated, desperate, yet symptomatic of a deeper rot in the collective unconscious. Barack Obama. The 2011 White House shooting. For Barack Obama, the threats were a constant hum of systemic friction. Over his 8 years, dozens of plots were intercepted, but one glitch pierced the physical shield of the White House. In November 2011, he pulled his car over on Constitution Avenue and fired a semi-automatic rifle at the White House.
Have arrested a 21-year-old man in a shooting that involves the White House. The investigation began Friday night when witnesses said they heard gunfire beyond the South Lawn. The president and the first family were out of town at the time. Yesterday, the Secret Service discovered 2 bullets had hit the mansion. Bob Orr has the latest on the investigation.
Investigators from the FBI and Secret Service used a hydraulic lift and metal detectors to search for bullets on the south side of the White House. One slug was recovered in the bulletproof glass of a second-floor window on the Truman balcony. Another was found near an exterior wall, but sources say there may be more bullets scattered around the south lawn. The suspect in the shooting, Oscar Ramiro Ortega-Hernandez, who was arrested at this western Pennsylvania motel, has a long history of minor run-ins with the law.
7 or 8 rounds struck the residence. Obama was not home, but the simulation of safety was shattered. Ortega-Hernandez believed he was on a mission from God to stop the Antichrist. Analysis of the messianic glitch when religious delusion meets political power. Donald Trump, the Butler breakdown. Perhaps the most visceral glitch in modern history occurred in July 2024. In a field in Butler, Pennsylvania, the simulation didn't just flicker, it nearly collapsed in real time. Thomas Matthew Crooks, at only 20 years old, he bypassed the perimeter, took a position on a rooftop, and fired multiple rounds. A single bullet grazed Trump's ear.
Oh, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
of millimeters between a glitch and a total system reset. We analyzed the failure of the Perimeter Protocol. Later, we examined the Ryan Routh incident at the West Palm Beach golf course, a second deletion protocol intercepted before the first shot could be fired. Why did the system fail twice in 1 year? The psychology, the lone wolf archetype. Who are these men? They are rarely supervillains. They are the human glitches, isolated individuals who find meaning in the destruction of the powerful. Detailing the narcissistic erasure theory. The assassin doesn't just want to kill the president, they want to be rendered by history. They want their name to be etched into the code alongside the person they delete. We perform a psychological autopsy on the shared traits: social isolation, digital radicalization, and the hero complex. The residue, the death of safety. What remains when the smoke clears? A permanent state of paranoia. Detailing how these attempts change the simulation, the increased surveillance, the bulletproof glass, the distance between the leader and the lead. The glitch forces the system to harden, making the president more of a ghost and less of a human. We discuss the cultural trauma of watching a deletion almost happen live on television. We are told the system is invincible. But as we've seen with Obama, Trump, and Biden, the simulation is held together by a thin thread of chance and a few millimeters of trajectory. If the glitch can reach the most protected man on Earth, what does that say about the stability of the world we live in? Are we living in an era of order, or are we just waiting for the next error to manifest? Is political violence a symptom of a broken man or a broken system? Let's talk about the future of the simulation in the comments below. This is The Glitch.